All right, we are live on the Coach Eli television network, YouTube, Facebook, and D Live. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here today on this beautiful, amazing Thursday evening. If you're here in the U.S. or North America, it's evening. If you're anywhere else, good day to you, depending on what time it is in your neck of the woods. It is Thursday, August 19th, 2021. If you're here watching live, hope you enjoy the show. If you're watching this on the replay thinking that you missed all the live fun, don't worry about it. This show has evergreen content, and this show will make sense to you regardless of when you view it. So if you're here on the replay, don't worry about it. You can watch the show and you can comment in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. But before we get to the topic of today's show, let me first of all make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out, and it absolutely has. It absolutely has gone out. Let me also check out the back end of YouTube and make sure that it is rolling smoothly, and it absolutely is. The back end of Facebook is rolling well, and D Live is rolling well as well. Now let me check out the front end of Facebook and D Live. I'm sure Queen Helen Casey will be popping in here momentarily, and she'll make sure that she'll make sure that YouTube is running properly on the front end. At the top of the news feed,
she'll make sure that YouTube is running properly on the front end.
Gosh, I love this background. I love the way it looks.
At the top of the news feed.
Facebook is rolling well on the front end, and let's check out D Live, and the Queen is here. D Live. Here we go.
On the front end, and let's check out D Live, and the Queen is here. D Live.
D Live is rolling well. It's all rolling well and good, right? Is that the proper way to say it? Well, if it isn't, that's okay too. We're all human and we all make mistakes and we keep on moving forward. All right. How are you all doing today? Welcome to the show. Today we have another great topic. This topic is going to be primarily focused for men. But as always, whenever I cater my topics primarily towards men, that doesn't mean that women can't learn from these topics as well. Yes, you can learn a lot, and you can figure out why your dating life isn't where you wish it could be, right? So ladies, you can learn from this. You can learn from this by hearing what's really going on with men, what men are thinking when it comes to dating in the modern world, whether it be through dating apps, online dating, or the cold approach in person. And that's the topic today. The topic is cold approach or online dating. What's more effective for the modern man? One more time. Cold approach or online dating? What's more effective for the modern man? Queen says, I had to post something on my Telegram channel. I need to check that out, Queen. If you want to share a link in the YouTube chat and behind the scenes in the private Coach Eli chat on Google Chat, formerly known as Google Hangouts, feel free. Good evening, Lewis Fuller. Glad to see you're actually here once I go live today. Awesome, bro. How are you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Yeah, I got your message regarding your mother. She is not feeling well, and she got tested for the pandemic and tested positive. Even though you and your entire family, including her, you mentioned behind the scenes that you've been vaccinated. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't stop it completely. It just the vaccine prevents most people from having a catastrophic event. Let's just put it that way. So my thoughts and prayers are with you and your family, Lewis. I hope your mother gets better soon. I'll tell you, the last couple of years have been very, very interesting. I've had a few colds, and fortunately, they were not the pandemic. But you just never know. It's like from this point on, even if we get the common cold, we're always going to wonder: is it the pandemic? Is it COVID? And we will have to go to our doctors and get tested and make sure everything is cool. So, yeah, it's just an interesting world we've been living in the past couple of years in just many different ways. And if you don't think that this hasn't affected online dating or dating in general, I don't know where you've been for the past couple of years. Queen Helen Casey says, believe me, I got a lot of stuff I can put on YouTube, but some of it I can. Or you mean you can't? Is that what you're saying, Queen? That if you put certain things out there, they may remove the video. I understand that. I try to cater my content as advertiser friendly as possible. I'm really not out here to create havoc or harm. I truly just want to help people better understand each other, whether it's involving business relationships or personal relationships, friendships, dating, marriage, etc. I just really want to try to help as many people as possible, change their mindset and approach things a little bit differently than most people are approaching things nowadays. So that way, we can all accomplish whatever it is that our hearts desire. Lewis says she is supposed to be home within a few minutes at 7 my time. Okay, yeah, your Central Time. It is 6:46 Central, 7:46 Eastern, and 4:46 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time here in my neck of the woods in the beautiful, glorious, amazing San Francisco Bay Area where I live. So, and I'll be periodically checking in on Facebook and D Live just to make sure everything is running well. And yesterday, the stream I did had no glitches, had no cutouts or anything. I think I've resolved the issue, but I'm not going to speak too soon. I'm going to see how this show runs. So far, so good. No dropouts. If this goes completely smooth again today, then I'll be more certain that I've fixed the issue. And then maybe I'll even share that information in a future video for other people that use open broadcast software like I do OBS to live stream on YouTube, Facebook, DLive, or any other platforms that are integrated with OBS. And I love OBS because it gives you the flexibility to do whatever you want to do. You can create different transitions, scenes, and put pretty much whatever you want on the screen. It just gives you a more professional look, and it allows you to adjust your quality manually and stream in very high quality if you have the capabilities like I do, because I have a very fast i9 laptop and I have a fiber line, 1,000 down, 1,000 up. So that's what I love about open broadcast software. But let's get to today's topic. I'm going to share my thoughts about this briefly here in my overview at the beginning, the monologue. And then I have a couple of Reddit postings I'm going to go through. The first one I'm going to go through once I get through my monologue, and then I'm going to take a quick break and come back with the second one. But the first one is from the subreddit Purple Pill Debate. It's a channel, it's a subreddit that I really like because I consider myself to be a purple pill man. I'm not going to explain what purple pill is or what the pills are. They're a part of this community called MGTOW. If you want to do a Google search for the red pill, the purple pill, or the blue pill, you can do that on your own. I've explained it so many times. If I did it again here, the people that have been following me for a while will see it as a repeat and they'll get bored. So I don't want to do that. But the title of this posting is, or the question posed is, cold approaching versus old. OLD is the acronym for online dating. Which has greater success for men? One more time, cold approaching versus old, OLD, online dating. Which has greater success for men? And then after I go through that, I'm going to take a break and come back and go over another Reddit posting from the subreddit dating_advice. And the topic posed is, women seem completely unaware of how selective they are. That is true. And men seem to fall to the victim mentality too easy. That is true. One more time. Women seem completely unaware of how selective they are. And men seem to fall to the victim mentality too easy. Yeah, I think there are some women out there that are completely aware of how selective they are, and they're very vocal about it, especially on social media, like the video sites like YouTube, Facebook. I've seen a lot of women postings on TikTok. They're posting like little short videos, ranting and raving about many different things. And then they wonder why men won't give them the time of day. And the men that do give them the time of day are the men they don't want, like the beta mons, right? 3 million members in the subreddit dating_advice. And 3.8K online right now getting advice right now is what they call it. And I'm joined here. So yeah, we'll get to that one after the break. But American Dream is in the house with the $5 super chat. The red, white, and blue hearts. American Dream. How are you doing, brother? I love your channel, brother. What do you love about the channel, brother? Let me know. Be honest with me, bro. Wow, dude. I appreciate the $5 super chat with the red, white, and blue hearts, bro. You're going to force me to start up the donation tag at $5. Let's do that. Give you a second here. And let me just switch over to the browser screen and get this prepared for when I go over there. Let's just fire it up on the bottom left there. Over here on Coach Eli's television network, Dream, we like to acknowledge everybody, and we even acknowledge people that donate financially or monetarily to support the channel. That's greatly appreciated. It's not required, but it's greatly appreciated because it's not cheap doing what I do. And I've got a lot invested into this Dream, and I really appreciate that you value this content to that level, man. I appreciate it, man. I really do. American Dream, sorry, Queen says, hello, Dream. American Dream says, hi, Miss Queen. Hi, Mr. Lewis. So yeah, Dream, let me know in the chat when you get a moment. Are you working right now? Are you off? Are you live streaming at the same time? I really want to catch up with you, bro, and do some streams with you if you've gotten rid of the drama. But what value do you get from this channel? Be very specific, write as long as you want. We love you and we appreciate you, bro. And we know that you've been through a lot yourself. And we're here to help you. I'm here to help you. Lewis and Queen and some of the other moderators here are here to help you. And Dream, if you ever find a way to connect with me on Google Chat now, formerly known as Google Hangouts, I'd like to add you behind the scenes to our private conversations. So let's try to find a way to make that happen, man. Anyway, all right, so let me share my thoughts about cold approach or online dating. What's more effective for the modern man? In my opinion, this is what I think men need to do to have the best possible chance of finding true love and happiness nowadays. First of all, as a man, now again, like I said, I'm primarily catering this stream to men, but women can learn from this too, and women can ask questions and participate, right? But men need a lot more help than this, or in this, I mean. Men need a lot more help in this, which is what I'm trying to say. And men have far fewer options nowadays. Women have all the options, and every single aspect of dating favors women nowadays. For many reasons, I'll get into those reasons here during this show. So, if I had to pick cold approach or online dating, which one would I pick? Well, I'll tell you which one I would prefer, but actually I would pick both. I would prefer to meet a woman in person, the traditional way. Maybe at the supermarket in the produce section, right? Or while you're out running errands, doing whatever it is, or at church, or if you're a part of any other groups that meet in person, a great site to find groups to hang out with in person, to socialize in person is meetup.com. And now that most of us are vaccinated and things have been opening back up, a lot of those groups are starting to meet again. So all of those aspects are great ways of, coming across women in person, guys. But what is the issue with the cold approach nowadays? What is the issue? There are issues with it. Does it work? Sure. But first of all, you have to know exactly what you want, and you have to know how to handle yourself appropriately. And you cannot approach a woman like a sick puppy dog. You have to be subtle about it, right? You don't want to scare her off or make her feel weird. American Dream says, I am off, but I am day trading. Well, you misspelled that, Dream, but that's okay. I am not live streaming. I hope to chat with you soon. I would love to catch up on everything. You're a good man, Coach Eli. I love you like a brother, and I always will. Same here, American Dream. I appreciate it, bro. I really, really do. Yeah, I know what you meant, bro. I'm not going to read what you said. I'll probably get demonetized if I say that. That's all right, man. That's all right. So, if we talk about the cold approach, right? What's the problem with the cold approach? Well, nowadays women have a lot of options, and women that you see in person that are reasonably attractive are more than likely not going to be single, right? So the cold approach involves you taking a chance that the woman is not single, is dating someone, or is married, or even if she's single, she'll just tell you that she's not because she looks at you, she's not interested, or maybe she is, just not in the mood to talk to men or get hit on or anything like that, right? But here's another thing that you're dealing with in person nowadays, okay? If you randomly come across women at the supermarket or while you're out running errands, you have to assume that these women are running errands as well. American Dream with another super sticker there, $10 super sticker. Wow, American Dream. Wow. You're distracting me, brother. Wow, thank you so much for another donation to the channel via super sticker this time. That's the pair that's flying in the air, right? You remember the show, The Greatest American Hero, American Dream, with Ralph Hinckley, right? Look at what's happened to me, right? I can't believe it myself. Suddenly I'm up on top of the world, something like that. Should have been somebody else. Yeah. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Wow, Dream. Thank you so much. Dream, I got to give you a big round of applause for that. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate you regardless of the monetary support, but the truth of the matter is that without monetary support, channels like mine here on YouTube and my business will not survive. So I greatly, greatly appreciate that, brother. Queen says, I remember that show. Are you folks just misspelling things? You're retracting your messages. I'm sorry, Coach. I just felt it from my heart. No, what are you sorry about, bro? When I feel from the heart, I give too. Dream, we got to get you monetized too, brother. Like Dream, do you have Cash App? Oh, actually, you do, right? Do you ever share your Cash App or PayPal on your streams, bro? I never hear you do that. I think you do it more just for fun, huh? Anyway, let's add another $10 or $10 to the channel donations, and now it's going to be at $15, courtesy of American Dream Mike. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you again for that. American Dream in the chat says, channel member and moderator, I love The Greatest American Hero. That was the best three-season show I'd ever seen. It was one of my favorites, but not my absolute favorite. But I loved that show. Loved that show. And I love the theme songs of TV shows back in the 70s and 80s and maybe even the early 90s. Nowadays, people don't have the attention span to even listen to the theme song, American Dream. So they cut it out completely. Like, I used to play a little theme song bumper at the beginning of my streams and videos. I cut that out. People have no attention span nowadays, Dream. That's part of the overall issue in every aspect of life, including dating. But yeah, people just want you to get the meat and potatoes, right? Dream says, I just got my 6.2 channel terminated because of a porn bomb. It was situational based on this one hater, but I started the 7.5 channel in its place, and I'm up to 130 subscribers in 3 days. Well, good for you, bro. Why are you letting these people on your stream that are doing that to you, bro? It's all my Asian supporters from Vietnam and the Philippines that are filling the gaps. Do you know who actually did that to you? American Dream. That's happened to you many times. That's why I don't let anyone on my panels randomly anymore. I used to do that back on my former channel and maybe earlier on when I started this channel almost 3 years ago. But because people started doing that and people started getting terminated, and here's the thing, Dream, if that happens to you and you notice that, what I would do is immediately shut down the stream and delete the stream. Because the person that's doing that is going to immediately flag you, and you literally have less than 5 minutes before YouTube gets on that and terminates your channel. So if that happens to you again, anybody, if that happens to you on a panel where somebody puts pornography on there to try to get your channel shut down, immediately shut the stream down and immediately delete the stream right away, or your channel will be terminated within 5 minutes. YouTube responds to the sexual nudity type of content when it's flagged like almost instantly. Cash App, there's your Cash App there, but I will not tolerate that kind of behavior anymore. I will have my porn bomb screen and vigilant. This is a disgusting aspect of the YouTube, and I will not tolerate it on my channel or anyone else's channel. Well, you know, Dream, I've seen a lot of people say that, and then they let people come on again, and it happens again. I would just not let people come on your panel randomly, bro. Get to know people first. Watch their channels, and just, I wouldn't even put out your StreamYard link publicly. Immediately, that's the word you remember? Okay, well, no disrespect, brother. Love you like a brother, but it's common sense to delete that immediately, or else you know your channel's going to get flagged and shut down. That's why the person's coming on there to do that, so then they can, be ready to flag you and take your channel down. I mean, it's just pretty sad, man. But anyway. So, here's the other issue when you're cold approaching women in public, right? Now, unless you're, at a networking event, or you're at a social event, or you're part of a meetup.com group or something like that, where you're going to be hanging out with these people for hours, right? And you're not in a hurry, right? Most women that are out running errands are on a tight schedule. Maybe they just got off of work and they're getting ready to go to a second job, or maybe just got off of work and they're getting ready to take some night courses to further their education, and they're stopping by the supermarket or running errands wherever you run into them, and they're being very, very, they're on a tight schedule and they don't have a lot of time. They're trying to get things done, and they're very busy, right? So you're dealing with that when the cold approach, if you cold approach them, like at the supermarket, at the gas station, or at a place where you just bump into people while you're running errands. So I think the cold approach can work still nowadays, and may even work better than online dating. It's just where you approach these people. I think the best place to approach people for a cold approach may be at church, or some type of event where everyone's situated for a few hours at least, and no one is in a hurry to get to somewhere else or do something else, right? So timing is important. It's the same thing with online dating. A lot of women are overloaded and they're very busy doing so many things. And that's why I tell guys when it comes to online dating that you need to try to connect with as many women as possible. You need to give yourself an abundance of prospects because women already have that abundance automatically because of the thirsty amount of guys we have nowadays, right? So you're already dealing with dating favors women in all aspects nowadays, and they're getting a ton of matches. And the algorithms on these dating apps favor women. I'll explain more about that in a little bit here because I've been noticing some things happening on the new app. I've been using Hinge, and I'm not really that happy about it. So, yeah, you got to try to connect with as many women as possible. And you got to have, at least, 5 or 10 women that you're at least sending a message every so often, or you're talking on the phone with a different woman every day. You got to keep your options open and keep the pipeline full if you truly want to find someone. That's what it takes for a man to find one decent woman nowadays, right? So, in my opinion, I think as a man, you should leave all of your options open as long as you know what you're looking for. And I'm talking about long-term committed relationships, okay? If you're looking for a hookup or friends with benefits or something like that, I can tell you, you can easily find that and get that nowadays. Now, you still have to be a reasonably decent looking guy and still know how to talk to women and this and that. But here's the thing. There are a lot more women nowadays, especially in their 20s and maybe their early 30s, and even some after that, that just want some companionship sexually every now and then. I've started to come across many videos on YouTube where these pickup artists, coaches, I guess that's what you call them, are showing text message conversations with women where they talk with them on the app and they're trying to size up the woman, whether she's open to have a sexual encounter that same night or not, right? And then they show how they take it off the app, move it to texting, and then the guy invites her over or picks her up, and then they have a night of fun. Now, even if you're going to do that, which I'm not here to help guys with that, but I'm just saying, even if you're going to do that, you got to move very quickly. The honest truth is regardless of whatever it is you're looking for on online dating, especially if you're looking for a relationship and the woman says she is too, you got to move. If you feel it for somebody and you think they feel it for you, let's say you're talking with somebody on Hinge, for example. You connect, you exchange a few messages, you like their pictures, their profile, they feel the same way about you. You got to take that to the phone as quickly as possible. If it's throughout the middle of the day, say, hey, I like how you, I like how you appear to be. You seem like a cool person. I'd love to get to know you. I'd like to, take this off the app so that way we're not distracted here. If you'd like to send me your number, I'll text you to arrange a call, right? And then in the middle of the day, you text her. You say, hey, this is Eli or whatever your name is from Hinge. How are you doing? How's your day going? They get back to you. It's going great. How about you? It's going great. Hey, how would you like to talk by phone later tonight, right? What time is your bedtime? You want to find out what time they go to bed so you can give yourself at least an hour of phone time with her. Typically, right before bed is the best time to talk, right? And a woman that is really interested in you and really wants to find something real, and sees you as her top prospect is going to give you that 1 hour of time by phone that same day before she goes to bed, right? That's when things have worked out for me in online dating, that's the way it works, right? So you got to take it from the app or the dating site to the texting, set up a phone call that same night through texting. You talk with her that night, and after you talk with her that night, you want to set up a date that night. You want to ask her, what's your work schedule like? Do you have weekends off? That for me, it is almost a deal breaker if women don't have weekends off, because the women, even women that don't have weekends off, they've got a lot going on even outside of work, right? But women that don't have weekends off are going to be much more difficult to connect with. And honestly, Monday through Fridays is when I primarily work. Sometimes I do some stuff on Saturdays and Sundays, if I have nothing else going on. But typically the weekends are where I want to get away from work and hang out with a beautiful woman, go hiking, go to a nice dinner, maybe go on a weekend getaway trip. So that's important to me. And so a woman that's really into you, that you meet through online dating is going to quickly move through that process with you. A woman that gives you a lot of resistance is either not feeling it, has a low level of interest in you, or has a bunch of other options that she's trying to figure out if they're better than you, right? If a woman shows a little bit of resistance, what I suggest doing is try one time to overcome that resistance. Sometimes women will say, let's talk here a little bit longer. I don't feel comfortable sharing my number. Like, for example, I was talking with this woman through Hinge, like the other day. And, she told me, she goes, I start off the conversation. Let me read this to you. I'll give you an example. And I'm going to substitute ma'am for her name to protect the innocent, right? The perceived innocent. Okay, we're still rolling nicely on the live streaming server. This is good. Hi, ma'am. It is nice to connect with you here. How's your day going, and what are you seeking on Hinge? She gets back to me and says, hi, Eli. This was Saturday. Actually, sorry. This was Friday, August 6th, right? She didn't get back to me until Saturday, August 14th, a week later. This was just this past last weekend. It takes time sometimes, guys. Maybe she's trying to figure out her other options and stuff, right? Just be cool, be patient, and talk to lots of women, have lots in the queue. She gets back and he says, hi, Eli, thanks for sending me a message. This was my first week back to work. Well, that's probably why she wasn't paying that much attention, or maybe she had some other options. And your first week back to work, you're not going to be able to juggle more than one or two guys, right? So that could have been it, but it doesn't matter. She wrote, this was my first week back to work. I teach high school history, and going back has been pretty surreal. How are you? And then she writes and says, I'm looking for connection, platonic, romantic, emotional. What about you? Well, she wrote platonic, romantic, emotional, and I didn't even that went past me, but I said, I'm seeking the exact same, ma'am. I think she's looking for a relationship. Would you be open to talking by phone so we can get to know each other better? If so, please send me your number and I'll text you to arrange our call. I hope you're having a great day, and I look forward to your response. I'm sharing this here so you folks learn how to overcome a slight hesitation or what do you call it? To overcome slight resistance, right? Because all women are going to throw you a little bit of resistance to kind of test you, right? To see if you're sane and patient. She wrote, yes, a phone call would be nice. I'd like to use the phone feature on this app before giving you my number. I'm free today from 2 to 4. I'm also free tomorrow after 12. How about you? So she gave a pretty wide window, for to talk either last Sunday or this past Monday. Okay. And I don't like talking on these apps. I want to talk with a woman that's invested. When a woman gives you her number, like I've said in the past, she's invested, right? At least somewhat, right? It's a big ordeal for women to give out the number, and I understand that. That's why I go for the number, because I want to see how interested are you in me compared to the other 10, 20, 30, 50, or 100 guys you're talking with, right? So this is what I wrote back. I was cool about it. And if she blocked me, so what? I got other people, right? Got other women I'm talking with, right? I wrote, unfortunately, I've tried, and this is kind of BS, but this is what I say. Unfortunately, I've tried the app in the past, and it doesn't work well for me with many disconnects. I just don't want to talk on the app. I want some level of investment if I'm going to even talk to a woman by voice. So she wrote back this. She goes, so she comes back with another piece of resistance, right? Okay, do you feel comfortable sending me your number and a time that works for you? I can call you. So I wrote back, and this is true. I have my phone set up this way. I said, my phone doesn't accept calls from blocked numbers, so it's not going to make a difference. You see, the only reason why she would want to call me instead of giving me her number is because she wants to call me blocked, right? So I already knew that, and I put it out there. And if she didn't get back to me, so be it. But what if she did, right? My phone doesn't accept calls from blocked numbers, so it's not going to make a difference. If you don't feel comfortable taking the next step, I can respect that. Feel free to let me know what you decide. I was direct. I was decisive. I was honest. I'm trying to show her, look, I'm not one of those dudes that's here to play games. I truly want to get to know you. And if you're interested, you're going to give me your number. If you're not, you're going to give me some BS, right? Or just block me, right? This was a few days ago. At 4:16, exactly 1 hour ago, 4:16 p.m. Pacific today, she's like, hi, sure. My number is, and she gave me her number. Now, it doesn't always work out that way, but half the time it does. The other half it doesn't. But you got to understand, you're going to get a little bit of resistance. Now, if she didn't give me her number, I wouldn't block her. I'd leave it idle because she may change her mind and give me her number down the road, right? This is what kind of happened here, right? But in all honesty, guys, I would not talk to any woman through a dating app, video, or phone section of that app. It's not that, it's not safe to do it. It is. It's just, it's an easy way for them to not have to invest. If I'm going to take the time out of my busy life and busy days to talk with a woman by phone, right? I want some investment from her, and the best way she can show that to me is by giving me her number. Heck, if you don't want to give your actual number, get a Google Voice number. They're free and easy. You can attach to your phone. That's good enough, right? I sent her a quick text back on the app. I said, I'll text you later tonight to set up our call. For now, enjoy the rest of your day. And that's that, right? So that's that. So my final thoughts before I get into this Reddit posting. We are at 38 minutes. I may actually take a break before I even get to the first Reddit posting here because I've already been on for 38 minutes. My final thoughts about well, not my overall final thoughts about this monologue regarding cold approach or online dating. What's more effective for the modern man? They both can be effective. And I honestly feel that guys nowadays, more so than ever, because of the incredible amount of people that women are talking to through these dating apps, because of the amount of thirsty beta males out there approaching these women in person or on these apps, and because dating is heavily skewed in a woman's favor. And I'll even share more about that right when I get back from the break regarding what's been happening on Hinge lately. There's something happening on Hinge that I've noticed. And I think this is the way they run their app, which more so favors women and more so favors keeping you on their platform longer, obviously to make more money. I'll share more about that when I come back from the break. But yeah, you need to do a combination of both: cold approaching in person and online dating. And you just have to keep on pushing forward. until you find someone that's seeking what you're seeking. If you're seeking a relationship, I'm going to tell you right now, the most difficult thing to find and make happen nowadays regarding the dating world is seeking and finding somebody that's ready for a real committed relationship. Hookups and friends with benefits, and something casual, right? Much easier, right? You still have to put some work into that if you want to get something casual. But I'll tell you, if you want something casual, you can easily get it. If you want something committed, it's much more difficult. It's going to take you a lot longer. You're going to go through a lot more women, and you got to fill your pipeline in person and online. And you got to juggle talking to a bunch of women, because a bunch of them, like I've said in the past, they're going to fall off all of a sudden, right? And you have to also take into consideration that they're more than likely talking to a few other guys at least and have a lot more in the queue, right? So until one of them decides that you're the guy and the rest of the guys are non-existent anymore, right? You got to keep doing the same thing they do. One of the best things that I've heard one of my favorite other dating coaches or just coaches in general say, Coach Corey Wayne, he says that you need to match and mirror the woman's behavior. Match and mirror it. And don't give more or show more excitement or energy than she is. You got to feel it out. And the best way to do it is to show slightly less interest than she's shown, right? Not a lot less interest, because that's going to turn her off too. But you gotta, if she has an interest level at this level, you gotta be at your interest level right below that, right? Because if you're above her, if she can pick up on that, you're more interested in her than she is with you, which is what I'm trying to say. Then she's gonna either ghost you, or she won't ghost you. She just won't respond to you, and she'll just put you at the bottom of her queue. All right. So that's that. Now, I'm going to queue up some royalty-free YouTube music. Queen, if you're still around, how's the stream been flowing on the YouTube side of things? I've had no dropouts. I think I may have actually finally fixed the issue, and I explained what the issue was and what my fix was yesterday at the beginning of my stream, if you folks want to check that out. But we are at 42 minutes, almost 43 minutes, just turned 43 minutes. Let's queue up some royalty-free YouTube music. And take a quick break. Boo-doo-boo-boo. Boo-doo-boo-doo-boo-boo. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Just need a couple more here. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Come on, come on. All right, music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for a little less than a 10-minute break. When we return, I'm going to share my thoughts regarding what's been going on Hinge. And do I feel this has been happening for a while, or did they just change their algorithm, or what's really going on, and how does it affect men? And I say men because women continuously get unlimited options no matter what. How does this affect men from finding that special person? Do their matches stop all of a sudden? And why? So, and then after that, we're going to get into those two Reddit postings I mentioned. One of them is from the purple pill debate subreddit, cold approaching versus OLD, online dating, which has greater success for men. And then after that, we're going to go to the subreddit dating_advice and discuss women seem completely unaware of how selective they are, and men seem to fall to the victim mentality too easily. So we'll get to all of that right when I return from the break. So stick around. We'll be right back. We're back. I love this background. You like the background, Queen, if you're still around, or anyone else? Beautiful hiking path. I love hiking trails that have lots of trees like this. This song makes me feel like the way the dating world is. It's unknown, right? A little mean sounding, but upbeat at the same time. Makes you feel good, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. All right. Yes. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on the Coach Eli Television Network, primarily broadcasting live on YouTube at youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. That's youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. We're also simulcasting live on Facebook and D Live. If you are on Facebook and D Live and you want to get more than just these in-studio live stream simulcasts, you're going to have to come over and subscribe to my YouTube channel once again at youtube.com/Life Coach Eli, or you can go to your YouTube app while you're logged into your Google account, or log in from a laptop or desktop and do a search at the top. Coach Eli, Elias Melas. Find my channel with over 4K subs. Make sure it's the right channel, not one of the many clones out there. And subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications, and that way, on top of these live streams, which you'll get at the highest quality on YouTube, you'll also get other pre-recorded videos exclusively available to YouTube. You'll get exclusive mobile live streams outside of the studio from my beautiful, gorgeous, amazing iPhone 12 Pro Max that I do sometimes on my walks, or other things I may end up doing live from mobile in the future. I also have channel memberships because I'm a monetized channel on YouTube. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm a monetized channel. I have channel memberships where I have members-only exclusive content, such as members-only live streams and members-only live stream replays, and other pre-recorded members-only content. You become a member for as little as $4.99 or as much as $99.99 per month. The $4.99 package gets you the same thing as the top package or anyone in between. It's just up to you how much you want to donate to sponsor this channel monthly here on the YouTube side of things. You can also super chat, or you can send a super chat or a super sticker, which is what I'm trying to say, on YouTube. At the bottom, you'll see that $sign. You can click on that from your mobile device or your laptop or desktop. Or you can even send a donation via Cash App or via PayPal. Nightbot's sharing the Cash App and PayPal links every 7 minutes or so in the chat. Those links are also available in the Facebook description and the YouTube description below. So donations are not required, but they are greatly appreciated. Folks, I put in a lot of money into this business because I really want to help people, and every little penny counts. So if you feel in your heart and soul that you want to donate and sponsor this type of content, I would greatly appreciate it. But again, it is not required. All right. Queen says the background seems nice. Great, Queen. Thank you for that. So today we've been discussing cold approach or online dating. What's more effective for the modern man? One more time. Cold approach or online dating. What's more effective for the modern man? I did a pretty lengthy 40-minute or so overview or monologue where I shared my thoughts regarding that. I even gave an example of how I handled an online, dating app conversation with a woman that was hesitant to give me her number. But because I handled it very maturely and I was very patient, she ended up reaching out to me today and gave me her number. Now we're going to see where it goes. And I shared some other things as well. So if you missed the first part of that, first part of the show, go back and check out the replay, and you'll hear some more information there. Now, before I get into these two Reddit postings here, I want to take the first part of this second segment and share with you folks, an experience I've been starting to notice on the Hinge app. I also noticed this on Bumble, and I'm sure Tinder is the same way, and other swipe right, swipe left dating apps. Now, Hinge is not a swipe right or swipe left app. It might as well be, but on Hinge, you have to hit like the heart button and send a like, or you can X out on the bottom left. So there's no swiping left or right. I think the reason why Hinge does that is because they want you to actually look at the profile, because there are some written aspects to the Hinge profile. And same thing with Bumble, right? But what have I noticed now on Hinge, and now I'm beginning to realize the same thing happened on Bumble. These apps, and like Hinge will say, we want you to find someone so you can delete the app, right? Well, what happens if you delete the app and don't keep paying for their premium service? They don't make any money, right? So it sounds good, and the intentions seem great. But Hinge and Bumble, they know as a man that it's going to probably take you a while to truly find someone, especially if you're looking for a committed relationship. And Hinge prides itself as the app to use if you're seeking a real, truthful, real true, which is what I'm trying to say, romantic relationship, right? They also know how women are nowadays. They know women are getting flooded with messages, and they know that women don't have to even pay for these apps to get messages. So these apps primarily make their money from thirsty men, and even non-thirsty men like myself that are just trying to connect with women and, see where things go, right? So I'm just going to speak on my experience of Hinge, but the same thing happened on Bumble. When you first sign up for these apps, right, whether you pay or not, you get a lot of connections, right? And that's what happened to me on Bumble. And when the connection stopped, I'll mention a little bit about Bumble here. When the connection stopped happening on Bumble, I paid for Bumble Premium for a month, thinking that I was going to get more connections like I did when I first, got on the app and using it for free. Well, I got a few more connections once I paid for the app, but not a whole lot more. Same thing happened on Hinge, but with one difference. I actually paid for Hinge right out of the gate because I wanted to have unlimited connections, meaning that it's not swipe right. I wanted to be able to heart and like as many profiles as possible to connect with as many as possible, right? I didn't want to be limited to the free amount, which I think is like $25 per day or something like that. So literally the first week, my phone was blowing up off the hook. I could not keep up. I must have probably hearted and liked at least 1,000 profiles, maybe a little more than that, right? And I literally connected with probably a little over 100 women that matched up with me. And I was in conversation with probably about 50 or 60 of them. And out of those 100 plus, I connected after, liking over 1,000. And then out of those 50, that I was communicating with, because sometimes women will connect with you, then they won't ever send you a message, right? Even if you send them one first, right? Out of those 50, I got probably about 20 to 25 numbers. So, I like I said, until you get the woman's phone number and take it to the phone, but at least get the number, they're not really invested in you at all. And all you are is just another number, right? Once you get the number, that doesn't mean you're in the clear and you're the only one she's talking to, but she's categorized you out of those hundreds of messages she's probably getting per day, she's categorized you in the top 10%. Okay. And that's where you want to be to have your best chance. So that's why I say it's important to take things off the app, try to get the number as soon as possible, send a few messages if they seem cool, ask them for their number. If they give you any resistance regarding giving you their number, let them know what I said. I don't like how the app works. It cuts off. I would prefer to talk by phone. If you don't feel comfortable talking off, the app, then I understand and I wish you the best, right? And if they're really into you and they really want to talk with you, they'll give you their number. If they don't give you their number, then they're not really into you, and you basically found out sooner than later that that's not a good fit, and you didn't waste your time, and she didn't waste her time any further with you. But after a week of being a Hinge premium member, I have a 1-month package, right? I noticed all of a sudden I started getting far fewer connections per day, literally 1 or 2 per day. I was still hearting and liking hundreds of profiles per day, right? So every day I'll go through, and there are a lot of people on Hinge. And I live in a big metropolitan area. Northern California is a big area, and I have my radius set to 100 miles. So there are infinite amounts of women, right? So I'm hearting and liking profiles. I've been doing that for the last week and a half, and literally I'm not getting even 1% of the connections I was getting during the first week. And I went and read some forums and stuff. I may do a separate show on this at some point down the road. But I went and read some forums, and other guys were experiencing the same thing. So now I'm beginning to believe that this is the way their algorithm is set up. And a lot of guys were saying they give you the best prospects up front, and then after that it dies down. Here's what I think is happening. These apps want to get you hooked right away. So what they will do is they will present you, all the women that are currently active on the site, meaning that they're active pretty much daily or at least every other day, right? And once you go through all of that, because when women are active, look, here's the thing. Not every woman's going to respond. But if you heart and like 1,000 women and not 1 or 2 or 3 get back to you, then there's something wrong with you. Your pictures are horrible. Your profile's horrible. And that's not the case with mine, right? The chances are that you're going to at least get some type of response if you heart and like. If you heart and like enough profiles, right? And that's what was happening initially, right? So they want to get you hooked. They want to overwhelm you. So that way you're like, wow, this is one of the best apps I've ever used. I'm going to keep using this. Hey, if it doesn't work out with this batch, I'll keep hearting and liking, and I'll keep getting an infinite amount of, connections with women, and eventually I'll find that special lady, right? Well, what I realized happens is that after a week or so, when you've exhausted those attempted connections by hearting and liking the profiles that are most active, that are presented to you first by these apps like Hinge, then the other profiles I highly assume that they serve up to you are from inactive women or women that have probably been inactive for a certain amount of time. Maybe at first they'll send you women that have been inactive for a week or more, then 2 weeks or more of inactivity, then maybe a month, right? And typically when women are not active on a dating site, it means they've found somebody or they're taking a break from dating, right? But these profiles are still up. These profiles are still up. They are, attractive women, and they're real profiles. But like I said, for the last week and a half or so, I've been hearting and liking literally at least 200, 300, maybe 400 profiles a day. Doesn't take a whole lot of time, but it still does take some time. And I'm not getting anywhere near the amount or nearly the amount of connections and results like I was initially. So, here's the reason why I think they do that. I think they do that because whether you pay for a premium package or not, if you don't pay for a premium package, they let you, like on Tinder, not on Tinder, sorry, on Bumble, they let you, I believe, swipe up to 25 people, swipe right on 25 people. And I think on Hinge, it's the same thing, right? And if you take a couple of weeks and you swipe right on 25 people for 2 weeks, you're looking at what? Every 4 days, that's 100 people. You can swipe on over 500 people within a couple of weeks for free, and then basically have the most active people currently on that app, served to you, right? And so then you start, like I said, you start getting a lot of connections and stuff, and then all of a sudden those connections die down, and then they start to offer you, premium, service, blah blah blah, get unlimited swipes or unlimited likes, hearts and likes on Hinge, right? So in your head as a man, you're thinking, okay, maybe if I pay for it, I'm going to now be able to connect with more women. I'll be able to swipe right on more women, or heart and like more women, and I'll get more, right? So we pay for the app, and guess what? It doesn't make a difference. Whether you pay for the app or not, it doesn't make a difference. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that paying for the app and having unlimited swipes is not going to get you a few extra women. It probably will, because some of those profiles that are served to you later on, after they've served you the most active ones first, there are some new people, and you may get 1 or 2 connections every now and then. But the majority of those profiles serve to you once you go through the first week or so or 2 of having tremendous response and having the active profile sent to you. Most of those are not active people. And the reason why, like I said, I think they do that is because they want you to believe that if you continue paying for the app, at some point, you're going to start getting more responses or find the one. What I think about this, I think it's a shady way to do business. I think these apps are exploiting men that are already in the most difficult dating world in history. They're exploiting the fact that, women have unlimited, men already in their queue, many on backup status. They know what's going on, and they know that the majority of men out there are thirsty beta males that are going to keep paying for this, right? So, in my opinion, what is the best way to handle these apps at this point? If I had to say at this point, hey, I would buy a 1-month premium membership on Bumble, a 1-month premium membership on Hinge, and after that 1 month, I would never go back on the app again, or at least not for a long time, because you will have exhausted the most active people, right? And it's not worth, taking an hour out of your day to heart and like or swipe right on 200, 300, 400 women just to get 1 or 2 that are going to connect with you every so often. And those 1 or 2, may not be as attractive as the type of woman you would really want, or, those 1 or 2, once you start talking with them, it may not seem to be the right fit. So it's not worth it, in my opinion. Now, I've tried one more thing. I tried one more thing earlier today. On Hinge, you can use the boost feature, and pretty much every app has a boost feature, which is pretty much BS for the most part, right? Where they'll highlight and serve out your profile, to the front, like to all these women, right? I tried that, and I actually there's one on Hinge where you can pay $19.99 for 24 hours of your app, 24 hours of your profile, I mean, being highlighted and boosted, right? Now, they give you a 1 hour option and some other options as well. But I'm like, you know what? What was it, like $9.99 for like an hour or so, or $4.99? I said, screw it. Let's just try this out one time, and then I can share with guys and gals out here what works and doesn't work. Okay? I boosted my profile earlier today, about 5-6 hours ago. So far, it has got me like one connection with a woman that was extremely unattractive. It hasn't made me any additional connections yet. I'm going to let it roll for 24 hours, obviously, and that 24 hours will expire tomorrow afternoon. But let's see what happens between now and then. If I don't get a decent amount of new connections by doing this, I will come back and share with you folks that it's a joke. It's a scam. It is. Now, is it illegal what they're doing? No, it's not illegal what they're doing. Do I think it borders the line of ethics? Absolutely. Absolutely. These dating apps are exploiting the fact that women have unlimited options nowadays. And, it's much harder for men to connect with women. And they set up the apps in a way where they lead men to believe that they're going to have more hope and more chance of finding the right person if they continue paying for these apps. So that's my thought about that. Queen says, not worth the money, and the background seems nice. I think I mentioned that earlier. So that is that. I'm still looking good on the live streaming server. That's great. All right, so let's get over to the browser source and go over the first Reddit posting. And then I'm probably going to take another break before I go over the last one, because coming back and explaining what I just explained regarding these dating apps and what I don't like about what they're doing took a little longer than I thought. This is from the subreddit Purple Pill Debate, and it's dead on regarding the topic. Cold approaching versus online dating versus old online dating. Which has greater success for men? One more time. Cold approaching versus online dating. Which has greater success for men? Let's see what the poster said there. Okay. I've seen lots of people on PPD discuss the pros and cons of old versus cold approaching, and was really surprised to find the ideological adherence to one being vastly better than the other. But as far as I can tell, and from my personal experience, here are the benefits of online dating for men. What is PPD? I have to look that up. These acronyms, man, I'll tell you. PPD Reddit. What is that? I have no idea what PPD means. Anyway, dude, you should put it in parentheses for us people that don't know what it is. But let's continue here. First, you know the girl is interested in you, at least your pictures. Hopefully, you aren't too much different from them. That's true. If you don't look like your pictures or close to it when they meet you, that's called catfishing nowadays. They call it catfishing. It's not going to work the moment she lays eyes on you. Second, you have more control of how the conversation can be steered and plans on where to meet up and look as presentable as possible. That is true. If you get enough opportunities and talk to enough women and know how to talk with them and know how to overcome their objections or their hesitations or their hesitancy, right, then it can work for you. Third, you do not have to worry on rejection. That's true because you get a lot of them and you get used to it. Takes any anxiety you may have out. Well, that's true because when you're cold approaching, yeah, I mean, if you're a shyer type of guy and cold approaching is not something you feel comfortable with, of course you're going to have anxiety. But on online dating, it's pretty simple. Yeah. Plus, it is easier than physically going places. Well, sure, but even if you meet a woman, on online or through a dating app, you're going to take her places. So it shouldn't be difficult to go out and meet women the traditional way if you wanted to. Now with the COVID time, because of the restrictions of, places not being as open as they were before, that's taking a toll on that. But I get what you're saying there. Cons of online dating. First, you are in competition where apps like Tinder, Bumble have 60 to 70% men to women. You're right. You're absolutely right. Even though there are a lot of women, there are more men. Thirsty beta males especially. Therefore, women are far more selective. Oh, they absolutely are, because they have so many options. I've said it many times. I'll say it again. Second, if you don't plan to meet soon, she will likely ghost you or move on. You gotta meet right away. Women that understand how online dating works, or if they're really into you, are going to want to meet you as soon as possible. Matter of fact, I'm going to share a conversation I had from another dating app in a second here when I get through this, before I go to the comments. How to overcome another objection and stuff like that, right? You really need to leave an impression in order to convince her to meet in real life. That's true. Get her on the phone as soon as possible and show her that you're a great communicator, you're understanding, you're mature, but you're fun, you're emotionally stable, right? You have a nice voice. You got to win her over with that, but you got to get her to the phone. I'm telling you guys, you got to get the number and take it off the damn app. Okay? If you're a fairly average guy, such as myself, which I consider myself to be an average guy, for 47, I consider myself to be a little above average for 47. I'm not saying I'm GQ or anything, but I've seen many other guys in their late 30s and early 40s and mid 40s that look like they're 60. So I do have that advantage, and that's because I take care of myself, right? But yes, like the guy says, I'm an average guy, and that's how the majority of guys are out there. You likely will match best with women who are overweight. That's not necessarily true, dude. But are you a little overweight, or are you an average guy, like a 7 or an 8 on the attraction scale, not a 9 or a 10? Dude, if you're a slender guy that takes care of yourself, okay, you're still considered technically an average, typical guy. But I do attract some women that are overweight, but I attract a lot of pretty, slender women or medium built type of women, right? So I disagree with you there, bro. You're not being honest about. I'd like to see a picture of you, dude, and see how overweight you are. No disrespect. This may work in your favor, as I have personally found it easier to hook up with overweight women, and it's easier for me to move on. Queen, what does PPD or PPB stand for? You know all this stuff, Queen. You're like the online social media guru. I thought I was good at social media. Queen, like, it's nice having you around because you understand this shit. Like, I understand most of it too, but some of these acronyms nowadays, and Queen, you're a couple years older than me. We're about the same age, and it's like, you know all this stuff. Damn. Jesus. That woman does a lot of research. Anyway, this guy hooks up with older women. Not older women, I mean overweight women. I just got matched up with another Asian chick, a couple of Asian chicks matched up with me on Hinge today. I'm very leery about the Asian chicks that have like the perfect pictures, because either they're spammers or they just take forever to come around. Like, they'll meet you, but like they're like they're like very closed off to intimacy. And if they're even open to intimacy, they make you wait a long time. I'm just very, very leery. But I did swipe on some Asian women where I typically don't anymore because I wanted to see who would respond. I'm trying to figure out the algorithm of these apps. Jesus Christ. The beta mods are the ones that will fall for these scams, right? Pros of cold approaching. First, it will only be you and her at the moment in a bar, club, party. That's true. You get the chance to display your confidence, humor, charm, whatever. I've been able to dance, make out, hook up with girls at clubs that I'd never match with through online dating simply because it's just me and her in the moment. Yeah, I remember back in the days when I used to work for Costco, we used to go to the bars every now and then, right? I met a few women during my I wasn't single most of the time, but there were a few times throughout my 5.5 year, Costco career where I was single. I'd go to the bars and the clubs with these guys just to, hang out and stuff, right? And, it was simple to make out with these women. You have a cocktail, they have a cocktail, right? But, it was still very difficult to convert them into dates, though. So sometimes you can get a date. Most of the time, these women just want to have fun. They want to get you to buy them drinks. The guys and I, we would buy these women a couple of drinks back in those days, thinking that, we were going to have a chance with them, right? And as we got, this was when I was 21, 22. The guy that I mid-20s, I started to realize, man, these women, they'll make out with anyone for free drinks. You got to be careful about that. So he said, I've been able to dance, make out, hook up with girls at clubs that I'd never matched with through online dating simply because it's just me and her in the moment. Second, you get to learn how to talk to people. Well, if you don't know how to talk to people, you're gonna have issues. You got to have some great social skills. And nowadays, most of these young kids in their 20s and 30s, they don't know how to socialize. They're very quick and simple. Even on online apps, hi, what you up to, right? That's not going to do anything for me. I have found that cold approaching has given me a more of a don't give a fuck attitude, and I usually approach girls acting as if we are old friends. If they reject me, I simply move on. That's all you do. Same way you treat online dating. Cons of cold approaching. First, you will face rejection, and that happens online and offline all the time, the majority of the time. I have found that cold approaching has given, I read that. Some men take it deeply while others are able to embrace and move on to the next. Okay? You should just let it go. All right, hey, have a good night. Enjoy your night. That's it. Be cool. And when you're cool like that, who knows? They may work their way back around you because you were cool. They may be testing you. Second, you may get anxiety or fear talking to random women. I have found that literally doing it enough times, though, eases it, but never completely goes away from me personally. No matter how confident you are, you're going to have anxious moments, and that's just normal for anyone, even if you're as confident as I am. Any other pros, cons? I personally think it is best for men to cold approach and use online dating to maximize options. I agree. I said that at the beginning of the show. I'll say it again. Use both. Use any way possible. If you want to find a real decent lady for a possible relationship, or you want a relationship, you want as many options as possible, online and offline. But why the insistence on being better than the other? But why the insistence on one being better than the other? No, I agree. Online dating just gives you a bunch of options, more so to people outside of your immediate area that you would have probably, never had an opportunity with these women because you're not spending a lot of time in their area. Like I have my radius set to 100 miles here in Northern California. Okay. I do things all over Northern California. I'm not opposed to meeting a woman and dating a woman, from within a 100-mile radius. But the chances of me running into her at a bar or a club, which I'm not really into that scene anymore. I never really was anyway. or a restaurant or church or something is not going to happen. So online dating gives you more options, more so than in your immediate area. It's more so for outside of your area. Now, before we get to the comments section here, I wanted to go back up here and read number 2. If you don't plan to meet soon, right here. If you don't plan to meet soon, she will likely ghost you or move on. You need to leave an impression in order to convince her to meet in real life. Let me share a conversation with a woman I'm going to be talking with tonight that I met on another dating app. Okay? Let me tell you what happened here. Sometime, and to be honest with you, I was talking with other women that I perceived to be a better fit for me at that point. But maybe this one is. Maybe it was meant to go this way. So I wrote her my standard message, and she got back to me. She just said, "Hi there." She gave the standard quick response. I said, "Hello, ma'am." Again, I'm going to use ma'am instead of her name to protect the innocent, the perceived innocent, like I said earlier. "Can you let me know what you thought of my profile?" And I didn't, at this point, I didn't value it that much because I liked her profile. She's cute, right? But she just said, "Hi there." So I matched and mirrored her behavior. She didn't give me a lot. I didn't give her a lot. She goes, "GM, I read your profile and would love to talk more. We have some similar interests, and I also see you live in Redwood City. I grew up in San Mateo." San Mateo is where YouTube started, like 17 years ago or so, before they moved to San Bruno, when Google bought them. So I just wrote back. I got to the point. I'm like, "What's your number? And I'll text you to arrange a call." She's like, "Okay, there's my number. Direct and decisive. Get to the point," right? So her and I started texting. I've been like connected with this woman for probably 3 weeks, maybe almost a month. I wrote, "Hi, ma'am. It's Eli from this dating app. It is nice to connect with you on a more personable level. How's your day going?" She goes, "Hi, Eli. I'm super tired and trying to finish stuff up and get out of here at 3. You?" I wrote back, "Working is exhausting, isn't it? LOL. Sounds like you need some R&R, and that's something I enjoy and good at. By the way, my day is going well, and thanks for asking." She wrote back, "How long have you lived in the Bay?" Spelling U, the letter U. This is a 50-year-old woman. Okay? Even the older women speak in short code nowadays. I wrote, "My entire life, Bay Area native. Family is originally from Greece. I am first-generation Greek American. How long have you been in the area you live in?" I'm not going to mention that, where she lives now. "I like visiting your area quite often, especially the area near the river. I love going hiking in that area." She loved my message. You can love that on smartphone texting. She wrote, "Hiking is awesome here. Recently, I've gotten into paddleboarding too. I've been practicing yoga on the board. I love that you are from Greece. I am Italian with some Greek in me as well. I better get back to work, but hopefully we can talk later." I wrote, "That lake in your area is another great area to hike. I know your area very well, have lots of friends there. I'm glad that you like that I'm Greek, and it's cool that you are part Greek as well. What are you truly seeking from a man, and are you ready for someone special to come into your life? Let me know your thoughts and then get back to work, like you said, and we can talk more later." She goes, "I am seeking my partner. Not interested in dating, really. I will know when we meet. Our spirits will recognize each other." She put a red heart. "I just continue to progress and stay conscious, so I will be ready. I never really joined this app. I did for 2 days in December. I think I got my money back because it was so bad to me, LOL. And then you kind of dropped in and what's the word? Intersected, because it's apparently free to text each other right now, so I'm happy. I stay open," she says. I go, last question for now, and I'll text you later this evening to arrange a phone call. Do you live alone or with roommates? I live alone. She goes, I live alone too. I won't be able to text later because I'm going to concert in the park with a friend, but maybe tomorrow. I wrote back, I'd prefer to talk with you by phone sometime when you are free. Just reach out to me when you have time for a phone call. She's like, okay, sounds great. Okay. So this was on July 29th. And I was talking to some other women. I hadn't heard from her. And I pretty much put her on the back burner. So literally like 10 days later, August 9th. Hi, Eli. How are you? Sorry it took so long to get back to you. I thought you weren't interested. Maybe she had another prospect in mind. I had my hands full with some things. Oh, really? You care to share more? You had your hands full? What, with some balls, ma'am? You had balls in your hands? Let me know if you're still interested in talking. I will be free after class tonight around 6 or later if you are. I wrote, hi, ma'am. It is Eli. How's your day going? And are you free to talk by phone later this evening before you go to sleep? Also, what time is your bedtime on a weekday? She wrote, hi, Eli. I will be heading to see my grandchildren. Actually, no, sorry. So at this point, before I read that last part, for some reason I didn't get back to her. And next thing you know, on yesterday, she sent me, or a couple days ago, she sent me a message on the app that we met on. She wrote, still would like to talk to you, Eli, with the heart. So now she's chasing me. I completely put her on the back burner, not because she's not attractive. I'm just, I will focus my energy on the woman that is paying the most attention to me. That is, giving me her time and is showing the most interest. So I ended up getting back to her earlier today. I wrote, ma'am, I'm so sorry for the delay. I've had lots of things to deal with regarding, I'm not going to mention what I've been dealing with. Not that big of a deal, but I'm not going to put it out there. But things are clearing up now. Look, I don't mean to be too forward, but I'm tired of this online dating world and just want to go for it with someone special like you. Are you around this Saturday all day? And would you be open to a hike? Because she lives a couple hours away. If I'm going to go out there, I'm not going to go out there for just an hour or two. I'm going to spend a day out there, right? Okay? Let me know if you are free this Saturday. And once I hear from you, I'll text your phone and we'll go from there. We can even talk by phone tomorrow night and get better acquainted. What are your thoughts? She's like, okay, I hear you. I think we can work something out for Saturday. You have my number. You think, okay, well, I better be a yes after the phone call tonight. Or, she's going back in the backup status, right? So I sent her a text like I just read a second ago. Hi, ma'am, it's Eli. How's your day going? And are you free to talk by phone later this evening before you go to sleep? Also, what time is your bedtime typically on a weekday? She's like, hi, Eli. I will be heading to see my grandchildren after work. Not sure when I will be heading home. Maybe home about 8. I will be in bed about 9:30. I wrote, text me when you get home, and if it's too late, we can talk tomorrow night and plan a hike for Saturday. Enjoy your time with the grandkids. She's like, I would like to talk tonight. Okay. Obviously, you're interested. Very interested. High level of interest. That's why I'm focusing on it. I will reach out on my way home, she said. And I don't want her to reach out at some random time. I may be doing something else. I want to schedule it. We're not I don't give women any freedom of reign to call me anytime as they please unless we're dating or we're going on a second date. So until then, things need to be scheduled when we're both available. So I wrote to her, okay, sounds good. Just text me when you get home and settled in. You see what I told her? You got to be direct, decisive. She wants to call me on her way home while she's driving in her car. I hate that. for a first conversation, that's very distracting for both sides. So I just said, okay, sounds good. Just text me when you get home and settled in, right? You want the woman to be settled in, maybe laying in bed, all relaxed, right? So she can focus on you and not be distracted by anything else. I will be free anytime after 8 p.m. I look forward to speaking with you. And then she loved that message. Do you see what it took to get that where it's at right now? Sometimes you both are going to be busy. Sometimes you're both trying to figure out if you're the best option for each other. Her and I, we had a good initial connection, but I was talking to other people, and I'm assuming she was, even if she hasn't told me. And what I bet happened is the one guy she gave a chance to, it imploded, and now she reaches out to me out of the blue, right? And here we are. Now, let me read a few comments here. I'm going to read 5 comments of this Reddit post and then take another break and then come back and go over the final posting. We are at 1 hour and 41 minutes. Queen says, give me a minute. Here's the link to PPD. Let me see what that is, Queen. Paranoid personality disorder. Oh, man. Paranoid personality disorder. Yeah, I don't deal well with paranoid people. I haven't come across a lot of paranoid people over the last 10 years. In my younger days, I used to come across a lot of paranoid people. All right. Another con of cold approaching seems to be that you need to be going out a lot to places where you can make such approaches. Like I said earlier, you go to social events. Church is a great place. If you're part of a meetup.com group, for whatever activity or whatever type of group it is. If you're in a group setting, like a meeting, or you're somewhere where you're going to be there for a while and you're not just out running errands, for example, then that's fine. But most of the time when people encounter each other nowadays, they're passing through, they're running errands, they're trying to get somewhere else. And, you talking with them, may get a pretty cold response. I've got a lot going on. I don't have time to talk right now, right? So it has to be the right setting. This guy's right. So you need to be going out to a lot of places where you can make such approaches. This maybe you find that at a certain age, but after that could be an issue. Sure. Well, you can make cold approaches at any ages, or at any age, but, again, you have to be in the right environment for it. You have to take into consideration that, the person you're talking with may be busy to get somewhere else. Another consideration is what your strengths are. If you are photogenic, online dating might be great. If you are decent looking, but more of your attractiveness is in your game, then you should cold approach. I agree. It's about how you carry yourself, but you have to be reasonably attractive. Let's just be real about it. Okay? Isn't that what you want? So why wouldn't you offer the same thing on the flip side? For the vast majority of men, I think meeting people through acquaintances is the best. Cultivate a good social life and let that do the work for you. Okay. Fair enough. You are right that I think meeting people through mutual friends or acquaintances is probably best. It can be, but here's the thing. At the same time, if you date someone you're set up with through a friend, it doesn't work out, right? Or you hook up with them and it doesn't work out, right? You're going to be the talk of the town between the group for a while. That's why, yeah, it's easier to connect with someone in that way. But if it doesn't work out, it's also going to make things a bit awkward for the group. And it might dismantle part of the group because of it. I've seen it happen. I think, though, the reason I didn't include it is because often it just happens. Like with online dating or going to clubs, You have a goal in mind, but meeting through mutual friends is more organic and harder to predict. That's true. Yeah, I mean it again. Depends on context. In college, this is basically how it works. Yeah, college is a great place to meet people, but college is kind of more so turned into a hookup culture because women in their 20s, are more career focused than relationship or marriage focused. So they're just hooking up with guys. And guys just hooking up with them. There isn't that much need for truly cold approaches because you're in class with these women and they get to know you. So there's already a level of comfort established. They just have to be physically attracted to you, and you have to have, people call it game. I call it, you have to have a good approach, good personality. You have to have a likable personality, and you have to be able to carry great conversations, etc. In your 20s, it is not that hard to cultivate an active enough circle that you are meeting new people all the time. You can rely on social groups fairly well. But by your 30s and older, well, things get tight. God help you if you say get divorced in your 40s. Haha, that is true. I will agree with that. Another con of cold approaching seems to be that you need to be going out a lot to places where you can make such approaches. He's responding to what that guy said a couple comments ago. The horror of having to be social to meet women. Oh, come on, dude, that's an obvious statement. Here's another part of another person responding to another line. For the vast majority of men, I think meeting people through acquaintances is the best. Cultivate a good social life and let that do the work for you. Why do people insist on refusing to recognize that men migrated away from doing things this way to online dating for a good reason? I was going to ask the same thing. What's the reason? Like the next person asks. Look at what's highlighted there. Male thirst is as much our enemy as female hypergamy. Oh my gosh, I could not have said that better myself. Male thirst is as much our enemy as female hypergamy. I'm going to give that a big round of applause. That's great. Wow. That's the main issue. The overly thirsty beta mons. Not all guys are thirsty, but the beta mons, which I believe to be about 97% of the men in this world, they're extremely thirsty. And that hurts us non-thirsty, non-beta males tremendously. It really, really does. Wow, the live streaming service has been doing great. Awesome. Just a couple more here, then we're going to take one more break here. Because social circle throughput is horrific, so there are meager options and backups. Plus, all the usual reasons why shitting where you eat isn't a good idea. Okay, dude. Highly depends on the social circle, I find. Some of them are introducing new people every meetup, especially if you are younger, like early 20s to mid 30s. Okay? Not men, just the unsocial shut-ins who believe they had an out from facing the pain of rejection. Okay? Yeah, they are men. Just because they don't like approach doesn't make them less of a man. Honestly, a strong, confident man is not going to fear approaching anyone at any time, online or in person. So, yes, if you fear approaching people in person and you need online dating to do it, I honestly feel that doesn't make you less of a man. Men are confident and strong. Men are not sissies. It doesn't make them the all of men either. Okay, that's true. What if you don't have acquaintances or friends? Well, you got a pretty miserable life. You got to brush up on your social skills and put your guard down and just get out there and make things happen. I'm going to read one more and then I'm going to take my final break here. Well, for a lot of guys who aren't super attractive, not having a social circle can make it hard to date even with cold approaches or online dating. That is true. That's why you got to take care of yourself. Stay in shape, okay? Stay in shape and buy some nice clothing, get some cologne, wear deodorant. You are dealt a certain hand in life with your looks. But you can play that hand as best as possible by looking as good as you possibly can look based on the genes you were dealt. Now, most guys are a little bit overweight or very overweight. They don't dress well. They don't wear deodorant. They don't wear cologne. Come on, guys. Women see this as a huge red flag. Well, they're turned off by it in the same ways that you'd be turned off by it. If you want a sexy, beautiful woman, don't you feel she deserves the same thing in return? And you have little to offer the woman socially. Yeah, if you don't have great social skills and you're unattractive physically, how can you expect any cute woman that is social to accept you? She's not going to fix you. That's not her job. You're a man. You figure things out on your own. You can't reciprocate her introducing you to her social circle by doing the same. Also, generally, if you don't have the social skills to get a friendship group, then you will have trouble interacting with women. Yeah, I agree. This is perfectly said. So I'd say get a social life first, right? Of course, in the end, everything is contextual, exceptions abound. Dude, I could not have said that better myself. Before I go on my next break, I'm going to give you a big round of applause. Yeah. Yes. Well said. Well said. All right. Let's switch back over to full screen here and cue up some royalty-free music and take one more break before the last segment. Hope you're all having a wonderful night tonight, or if you're watching this on the replay, I hope your day is going well. Let's see here. Let's see, what are we going to play? Let me see here. Give me a second here. All right. I didn't want to play that one. I wanted to remember which song it was. All right, music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for a quick break. When we return, we're getting to the final Reddit posting from the subreddit dating_advice. And the subject is, women seem completely unaware of how selective they are, and men seem to fall to the victim mentality too easy. So stick around. We'll be right. yeah. Bump, ba-da-bump. Yeah, bump, ba-da-bump, bump. Yeah. Gotta love it, gotta feel it, gotta get in the groove, right? Yes, baby, yes, baby, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Whoo! Man. Gotta feel it, gotta feel it, gotta feel it, gotta feel it. Feel real good. Yes. Let's rock it, let's rock it, let's rock it. All right. Welcome back to the third and final segment of Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on the Coach Eli Television Network, primarily broadcasting live on YouTube at youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. One more time, that's youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. We're also simulcasting live on Facebook and D Live. If you're on Facebook and D Live and want to get more than just the simulcasted in-studio live streams, if you want mobile live streams, if you want pre-recorded videos, if you want members-only content exclusively available to people on YouTube, come to my YouTube channel. You'll get everything. You'll also get the highest quality of these live streams, better than Facebook at least, and very similar, or a little bit better than D Live. D Live, I have to say, does have great quality for live streaming, and they let you stream at a pretty high resolution and bit rate. So, but it's still a little bit better on YouTube, and you'll also have the most engagement within the YouTube chat. Now, also, if you do come out on YouTube, you have to understand there's a really huge court of public opinion, lots of trolls, lots of haters, lots of people trying to kick you down because, these are weak-minded, insecure, mentally and emotionally unstable people. That happens. You get some of those, right? And if you don't want to deal with that, don't use your real name as your Google account. Make something up or call your channel name or your user account something other than your name. Because if not, I'll tell you, at some point or another, they're going to try to do some stupid stuff to you. But anyway, tonight we've been discussing cold approach or online dating. What's more effective for the modern man? One more time, cold approach or online dating. What's more effective for the modern man? The first two segments, I shared a ton of information. And guys, I know this is primarily catered to guys, but women can learn too, okay? But guys, more so for you because you guys are struggling. I get it. You're struggling to get more connections and have more options. And I shared what the best way of doing that. Did I add another song? Let's kill that. Let's kill that. Okay. I didn't know I queued a fifth song on there. Okay. My apologies on that. That's okay. Shame on me. I'm my own producer. I'm my own everything. And that happens sometimes. So guys, I get how difficult it is. If you go back and watch this entire replay, even a couple of times, and just listen to my experiences and how I handle them, it's going to give you the best possible shot of eventually getting what you want. I say eventually because it's going to take some time, trial and error, right? Not everyone's meant to be together. But what it'll also do is prevent you from wasting your time with the wrong people, or maybe even getting suckered into somebody that has a fake profile and pretending to be someone and saying they're in another country and they need you to send them a large amount of money so they can come out to the U.S. or get back to the U.S. so they can come see you. Don't fall for that crap. Okay? That's why I do these streams. I want you folks to learn from my experiences and get the most bang for your buck, per se, right? And not have your time wasted. All right, so we're going to quickly go through this last Reddit posting. We're only going to be on probably another half an hour or so, 25 minutes. We're at 2 hours and 5 minutes just turned to 2 hours and 5 minutes. The YouTube live streaming server has been running great. Ever since I did my tweaks, I think I finally figured this thing out. But let's get to the Reddit posting here. Let's go back to the browser screen. This is from the subreddit dating_advice. And the poster posted, women seem completely unaware of how selective they are, and men seem to fall to the victim mentality too easy. Guys, don't fall into the victim mentality no matter what. It's not masculine energy to play the role of the victim. When things don't work out, and it's going to happen more often than not, just walk away quietly and focus your energy on other better opportunities, right? To sway away from the tired, women have it easier, men have it harder dating posts, I've noticed, I think you might say I've noticed, what I believe is the root cause, complete lack of perspective for both genders due to being blinded by each gender's own frustrating experiences. That is true. But the thing that's most truthful is that women have unlimited options nowadays due to the beta males. And that's what a lot of people aren't talking about. But I get what you're saying there. Note, this does not apply to everyone. As I've noticed, most people don't follow the patterns I'm about to explain, but enough do to call attention to it. All right, what do you have to say? The common complaint I hear from some women, both on here and in real life amongst coworkers and friends over the past 12 years, is around inability to find a decent, normal guy for a potential relationship. That's because women have raised the bar too high. They have unlimited options, so their expectations have become unreasonable and unreachable. Let's see if you say that, dude. Delving into things a little deeper, however, I find a very important but missing distinction that decent, normal guy only becomes applicable after a large amount of men are filtered out. That's true. And what happens is these women will put you on backup status, like guys like me on backup status. Maybe this woman I'm going to talk to tonight did that, right? Women have other options they perceive to be better for them. Maybe the guy is a little more physically attractive or her type. Maybe the guy, has a certain type of job or whatever, right? But what happens after a while, these guys fizzle out, right? And then she works her way down to you, right? I.e., they are supposedly implied factors that have to be met. Furthermore, these factors eliminate the vast majority of men, I'd say 90 to 95% based on my personal experience. That's true. That's why it's harder. I've literally sat down and helped female friends that had these complaints through their online dating profiles, tried to set them up with others, only to have them incredibly selective prior to even considered whom they want to go out with to give them a chance. Right. Like I think I'm a decent looking guy. I'm an average, everyday, decent looking guy in good shape. And for 47, I think I look good for my age. And to the majority of women, like, I'm not even on their radar. And they don't realize what they're missing. I'm a good dude, fun to hang out with. I'm a great lover. No one will treat you as well as I do. But hey, to each its own, right? It's their loss, not mine. That's how you have to look at it, right? Here's my takeaway. It is fine to be selective and you can have your preferences, but you are misconstruing a huge reason why you are having dating troubles or not providing the whole picture. Well, like I said, women have set the bar so high, it's unreachable, it's unreasonable. I was watching this video earlier today, and this one content creator, can't remember what their name is, had a therapist on, and she was saying that this is what the issue is that she sees. She's being honest. She goes, men have 3 criteria when it comes to women. She said something to this extent. They want a reasonably cute woman. They're not expecting a supermodel, but a woman that's cute to them. A woman that has a woman that is sweet, loving, and nurturing, and a woman that can carry a great conversation. 3 things. That's all men want. I agree. I'm the same way. She said women have a list of 300 things, and it's exhausting. Now think about it this way. Let's say that even if a man reached half of those, right? How many men would actually reach half of what she expects, right? Okay. That's 50% of what she expects out of 300 things, right? Okay. Even 10% of those 300 expectations is still 30 expectations. Men only have 3. Okay? 5% is 15, right? 1% is 3. So men only expect 1% in a partner they see compared to women. That is a staggering number. Those women that have that list of 300 are never going to be satisfied until they come back down to earth and realize that the main purpose to a relationship, first and foremost, is exactly what the men are seeking. The good men, that is, right? That want something real. We want somebody just reasonably cute, doesn't have to be perfect. We're not looking for the supermodel, right? Little thick is fine. Shorter or taller doesn't matter, right? As long as you're cute to us, right? Then we want a woman that is sweet, feminine, and down to earth, and kind and loving and nurturing. And we want a woman that can carry on a nice conversation, two-way conversation. That's it. So yeah, women are way, way too picky, and they've raised the bar unreachable for the majority, if not all of men. Okay? The male friends I have helped are not even close to as selective. We're not selective at all, really. Maybe a little bit, but not 1% of the woman. Often, as long as the girl is nice, intelligent, and average-ish looking, right, they are more than happy to go on date. I'd say probably 80% of the women I try to set up my male friends with go on dates with, as opposed to 20 to 25% with my female friends. This comes across as incredibly incongruent to a lot of men and is what I believe a source of a lot of frustration. It is the women that have endless amounts of options because of the thirsty beta males validating them and giving them whatever they want, right? So they become extremely selective and it's unattainable. The guys that these women really want, like myself, right? And some other guys that take care of myself and are not beta males, right? Guys like myself, we don't get the chance. We don't get the chance because we don't hit all their criteria, right? But a lot of times they'll end up giving the beta males a chance because the beta males, at least in the meantime, will provide them something right away without having to work for it that us guys that they really want won't provide right away. That's a part of it. Okay? Let's see here. And men on here keep falling to the victim mentality too easily. Yeah, they do. It is frustrating. It gets to me at times, but I just blow it off because I know what's going on. And if I get upset and waste energy on the wrong woman, I'm not going to have energy left when the right one comes around. I know it's 2021 and we would all love for both genders to take an equal initiative, but unfortunately it is the job for men to do most of the grunt work. That's true. In terms of taking chances, getting rejected, and proving themselves. Right. The burden of performance is on men, and part of that is getting rejected constantly, refining, improving, etc. Most men, in my opinion, give up too easily without giving it an honest effort. Newsflash, unless you look like Chris Hemsworth, 90% plus of women will not be into you, and that's okay. It is not a reflection of your self-worth and more of the fact that women are incredibly selective. The good news is that what people want is generally subjective, and someone eventually will likely give you a chance as long as you show the best honest version of yourself. Keep being you, and you will find that diamond in the rough at some point. I agree. In the end, I would love a world where women were more honest and straightforward about their selectivity as a factor in the dating game rather than state that their struggles are around inability to find decent men. Listen, dude, most men that understand this and are not idiots and are not gullible already know this, right? So we stay away from these women that whine and complain on social media or just whine and complain in general that there aren't any good men left out there, right? These women know they're getting hit on by tons of guys. And they're saying that there aren't any good men out there and they don't have the opportunities. No, they have the opportunities. They just want 90% of the women, 80 to 90% of the women want 10 to 20% of the guys. Sorry, that just doesn't work. The numbers don't add up. It's not possible. There are decent men everywhere, but you are just not attracted to the majority of them, and that's okay. Attraction is needed, and men embrace the fact that the burden of performance was on them instead of fighting it and blaming women for being selected. Yeah, if I come across women like that, I come across them all the time. That's why I get to the point. I try to meet them right away, get their number right away. If we're in person, I try to see if there's some kind of, physical connection. Maybe I'll try to kiss them or hold their hand or something and see how they respond. You got to find out right away because that's important. People are entitled to their preferences, and you generally cannot change them as they are deeply rooted in biological instincts and intuitions. They will fight tooth and nail to defend them. That's true. And everything you say makes sense. But there are women that would have normally given men like me a chance, or the average everyday man a chance in the past, before they had all these unlimited options due to the thirsty beta males. Because of modern world dating on dating apps and the unlimited options women have, women are not giving men the chance for something real that they would have given a chance to just 10 or 15 years ago before all this stuff changed. And that's what I'm trying to explain to people, especially men out there. I would love for both genders to be more self-aware and honest on how they navigate the dating world. I think it would really help clear a lot of the confusion and frustration I see on the dating forums and in real life. Well, dude, one can only hope, right? All you can do is focus on how you show up and be yourself. And if someone else of the opposite sex is out there that recognizes that, then that's the one you focus on and see what you can turn it into. All right, we are at 2 hours and 18 minutes. Let's go through a few of these comments here, and then we're going to wrap it up and go off the air. Get your questions, comments, and concerns in right now because we'll be going off the air soon, like I said. Let me check out Facebook real quick. Nothing happening on Facebook tonight or D Live. And back on YouTube. How can women have 300 things? Queen? Queen, you're the exception, okay? Trust me, they have 300. They have lists that go that deep. Just go into the female dating strategies forum on Reddit, Queen. Hang out there a little bit and see what's going on. Lewis Fuller, just to let everyone know my mom is home and doing good. That's nice to hear, Lewis. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. As a man, I've concluded that the world of dating will not change. Not for a while. The only way we'll ever change is if the thirsty beta males stop being thirsty beta males. Then it'll skew the favor of dating back to men, or at least make it more of a level playing field. Right now, dating is skewed completely in the woman's favor, online and offline. I can only give an honest effort and let data drive which demographic groups I do well with as an Asian man, i.e. black women, Asian women, and suburban women. Okay. Yeah, I've noticed that the majority of women that give me the chance are Caucasian women. That's just the way it is. I'm open and diverse to all other races and cultures, but typically I connect best with American, Caucasian women, or Caucasian women that have some type of other Caucasian descent. I may very end up single for life, but that's life. Dude, don't think that way. That's a shitty way to think. No guarantees in life except for what you can control on your own. You're right, dude. But if you have a good attitude and you keep on putting yourself out there, I'm telling you, eventually you'll find someone. So in short, don't bother. Got it. No, that's a horrible attitude. There's a book written by a woman about her experience with her own high selectivity. In it, she wonders why she's now 38 and single and what happened with her life. Gosh, that's a typical story you hear all the time nowadays. Do I have to say it again? Do I have to ask her how many Chads and Tyrones was she hooking up with in her 20s while in college, right? And how many of those Chads and Tyrones did she try to lock down? And they wanted no part of that. The Chads and Tyrones wanted to hook up with all the women, right? Then in their 30s, these women continue to try to get the Chads and Tyrones, right? But they realize that Chads and Tyrones, they want the 20-year-olds because, they're younger, they're tighter bodies, better shape most of the time. I'm not saying that women don't have tight bodies or look good in their 30s, but listen, as women get into their 30s, their looks start to fade a little bit. Now, I'm okay with that, but a lot of the guys these women want are not. To find out, she first talks with matchmakers, then dating coaches, to relationship therapists, then psychologists, and finally scientists who deal in evolution to find out why she and her female friends had such bizarrely high standards for a mate in comparison to the equally attractive men she knew. It's called Marry Him, The Case for Settling for Mr. Good Enough by Lori Gottlieb. Okay, maybe I'll check that out. I'm going to read one more here, folks. It's quite long, and then I'm going to wrap it up. So get your questions, comments, and concerns in right now. We're about to go off the air in just a few. Okay. Women can afford to be selective, at least for those who are in their 20s and 30s and are not single parents. Well, yeah, that's because of the thirsty beta males. Several weeks ago, I was hanging out with some girlfriends, mostly women in their late 20s and early 30s, and we were all gawking at each other's online dating profiles. That sounds like a fun night. One of my good friends, who is a conventionally attractive woman, at least an 8.5 out of 10 on a numerical scale, was very discerning in what she wanted. A tall man who's at least 5'9". Well, that's actually better than most women wanting someone 6 feet or taller. So I'm 5'10". I'd qualify for this woman. She wants a good job. Okay, that's fine. And handsome. Okay, what's wrong with that, right? What's wrong with that? I will give this woman a little bit of credit, or a lot of credit, and say, hey, look, she wants a guy with at least 5'9". That's 3 inches shorter than 6 feet. That opens up a lot more options for her than just 6 feet or taller. Because the majority of men are between 5'9" and 5'11". There are some that are shorter, and guess what? Yeah, I know it's hard for shorter guys to get certain women, but even shorter guys can get women too. I've seen it happen. You just got to keep trying. Somebody eventually will love you for you. It's possible. You just got to keep trying. I'd say she only liked perhaps 1 in 5 to 1 in 10 profiles. Sure, because she has a lot of options. And most of the time it was a match because, yeah, the thirsty beta males are swiping right on everybody. I mostly saw her Bumble profile. She had at least 20 plus matches that she didn't bother messaging. Yeah, it's overwhelming. I've been there. She only messaged one guy because she liked the fancy sunglasses he happened to be wearing in one of his pictures. Cool. All right. So what's wrong with this? Most men do not stand out in online dating. They have crappy older photos, and even if they have good photos, they're 10 years old and they look different now. They show up in person, it doesn't work out because they're catfishing. Some profiles I looked at look absolutely awful with grainy, low-light pictures and awkward poses. Folks, if you don't have sharp, clear pictures nowadays, our phones can take excellent pictures. Or use a digital camera. Like this is what this guy says here. Women are much better at presenting themselves generally. Guys, get someone with a DSLR That stands for digital single lens reflex. Nowadays, cameras are going from DSLR to mirrorless. I have my brand new Sony a6400 that I use for a live stream camera, but it also does I think it's 25 megapixel still shots. It's a very good camera. But even the iPhone 12 Pro Max takes almost as good pictures. There's no excuse for grainy, old, crappy pictures. Those are out there because that's when the guys were thinner and looked better and younger, right? And they think that by showing up looking differently, maybe overweight or other stuff is different, they think that they're going to get the girl? No. No. Guys, get someone with a DSLR to take pictures of you in good light for the main picture at least. Take great pictures all around. If you are white and conventionally handsome, you stand a good chance, but even that's not a guarantee. It has nothing to do with ethnicity. That's your opinion, dude. For those of us, other racial backgrounds, well, dude, now you're assuming because you're of a different ethnicity or race that you're being stereotyped. Dude, that's not true. Of short stature, somewhat deformed, fat, overweight, not handsome, etc., we don't stand a fucking chance in online dating. So, dude, what you're basically telling me right now is you're of a different race. You're below 5'9", okay? And you're saying that white guys have a better chance than you, and you're not saying you're handsome at all. Dude, your attitude is horrible. Fix yourself. Go to the gym, work out, eat better, lose some weight, buy some better clothes, wear some deodorant, cologne, take care of yourself. Don't sit here and expect women to be with a man that doesn't take care of himself when, in essence, on the flip side, you expect the woman to take care of herself. Dude, you're only going to get what you get, right? If you want an attractive woman that takes care of herself, why would you not offer the same in return? And if you're not there, why don't you fix yourself and get there? That's pathetic, man. Anyway, we are at 2 hours and 27 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and come back over to full screen and start wrapping this up. And I'm going to say this. Cold approach and online dating. Cold approaching and online dating are two ways where if you use both, you have a positive attitude and you're not focused on any particular result. You're not expecting anything. You're just going out and communicating with people. You're having conversations. You're being social. Between cold approach, approaching people in the right way, at the right place in the right time, in person while you're out, and, playing the law of large numbers on online dating, connecting with as many women as possible, understanding that most of them are going to drop off, and if you keep on trying, eventually between online dating and the cold approach, you will find that one that will date you and you'll be happy with. So what's more effective? Neither one. They're both effective working together over the course of time if you take care of yourself, and if you have some things you need to work on, fix those things, get into better shape, buy some better clothing, and show up looking the same way that you would expect a woman to look. If you expect her to be sexy and pretty and wear nice clothing and smell good, why not show up the same way instead of whining and complaining like this last guy did, right? So neither one is better than the other. Both of these ways are just different ways to give yourself more options to eventually find the right one. And the right one will come when the time is right, as long as you keep a positive attitude. Don't let the rejections that are going to happen quite often get to you. Don't focus any negative energy on the rejections, so that way you can have the energy left when that right one comes along. Because I've seen it happen to other guys. They complain that, they give all these women chances and they fail. And then the right one comes along. And because they're so jaded and angry, they screw it up with the one that could have been and would have been the one. It's going to all happen when you least expect it. Just keep being you in the meantime. Keep being a good person. And make sure that you present yourself as best as possible. Again, if you expect a woman to look good, smell good, and be a good person, don't you think she expects and deserves the same thing from you in return? Just think about that. And that's where I'm going to wrap up this show at 2 hours and 30 minutes. I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you to Queen Helen Casey. Thank you to Lewis Fuller. And thank you to anyone else who's watching behind the scenes. Have yourselves a good one. I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye. Bye. Whoa, too soon. Let's try again. Bye. There we go.